bee is being eaten alive. Oh no, it's been decapitated. Oh, it's just been decapitated.
For anyone that was interested in how we dry our honey, I have found quite a good way of doing it. Takes a few days to get down to the right moisture, but I bought this, I think you call it a grow tent or something, and then we've got a dehumidifier on the top, and the bucket of honey has got its lid off at the bottom, and the way we found it works out, the moisture is then drawn up into the dehumidifier, and that then in turn takes the honey down to the correct moisture, which does actually work quite well. I was pleasantly surprised, because we found that this bucket doesn't hold, well, it's not airtight for some reason. Yeah, it was a bit annoying because we started jarring it up and we ran out of jars because we've got crate there, another box over there. This is what's left of our first batch that we did early summer, so we got eight jars left out of 131, I think. So they're nearly gone, and then as I say, that is all what we've done so far, and we got that bucket left to do and that bucket there left. And then we've also bought some sugar. We went to Booker's for that. Dad's got a Booker's card, so it's quite nice. We can buy in bulk there, so it all kind of works out quite well, really. But yeah, that works very well. Small scale, drying honey works very well. So it's literally borderline. It was 22%. So yeah, it went up, I think, 3% in that time. So we've we went ahead and bought this just to try it out. It wasn't expensive. I think this was like 20 quid. Dehumidifier was, I think it was £35 actually. And then we just put a bin liner around the bottom, just to help seal it off a little better, and yeah, that works very well. So if anybody is in that situation where they've either taken the honey off too early and it's too wet, or it's gotten too wet or too high in water content, in moisture, very good method. That very good method. Didn't think it was going to work. Works a treat, because we did get the other bucket that was again 22%. Left it on for 2 days, went down to 17, so it works out quite well. I'll just leave that on for the morning, and hopefully that will be down to, we're kind of aiming for about 18%, and then I'll carry on jarring. We've got a box left there, and then we've got one tier left over there. But yeah, so we've got, that's a complete full crate. This one is more or less full. We got 3 jars left out of that, so that's one batch, that's another batch, that's another batch, and obviously that's the final batch. So we're cracking on, thankfully. And tell you what, temperature's definitely changed. It's colder today in the morning and at night as well. Temperature is falling. Has anybody else got issues with European hornets eating poly nukes, and then wasps? Oh dear, there's a bee, angry bee, and then the wasps then start chewing what the hornets have been doing, just there. And then we got another one there, look. Because it just so happens that we have a hornet nest very close by to our apiary, which is not great. Last year we had a wasp nest just over there, and now there's a sun, and then we got that building. I don't know if you can see that over there, but that building there is the granary, and there's a hornet nest in there. European hornet, not Asian hornet, European hornet. But yeah, we've never had an issue with them before, and it just so happens that they've decided to now wreak havoc on our polynuke. So I'm not sure how to best deal with that. Do I just leave them to it, or can I put a repellent down? But then is that repellent going to hurt the bees? I don't know. Let me know in the comments how to deal with hornets. Because we've got some traps out, but they're not interested in it, which is a little bit annoying. But anyway, that's just a little side note.
Hello, welcome back to another bee check. It is 1st of September. You can believe it, we are officially coming into winter now, definitely. Nights are definitely drawing in and the mornings are very dark. Today we are going to be taking off our wet supers, which will hopefully now be dry, although I have a sneaky feeling they may have put nectar inside as well, so we might have to do something called Nadiring, whatever that means. And yeah, it's baking today, absolutely baking. Even Maddie's baking. Bloody boiling. So yeah, we'll crack these open, we'll try and get this knocked out as quickly as we can, and yeah, we are, yeah, it's just kind of winding down now for beekeeping. I have brought some doors as well, because the wasps have just started to become a bit of a nuisance. We've only just started seeing them. So yeah, we'll get on. Get on! Open this hive and yeah, might be able to see that, but they have started to store nectar back in it as suspected. So yeah, what we're gonna have to do is a good. So like kind of with this messed up season that we're having, we're now gonna have to nadir these. Look at that, this is why we're going to put entrance reducers on, because of the wasps.
You didn't even kill it?
No. But there's another one on the floor there. So yeah, wasps have just about started to become a bit of an issue. There we go, look, there's another one in there. So yeah, we're going to do this as quickly as we can to try and reduce the risk of wasps, but this year's been surprisingly easy. Right, so nadir, what is it? Basically we're going to be putting the honey super at the bottom and the brew box will go on top. So the idea of that is the bees will then take the nectar / honey that they've stored in the super and bring it up, because I don't want to be leaving these supers on over the winter. I want to be taking everything back. That's just how we do it. We don't do brood and half, we don't do double brooding over winter. It's just single brew box and that should do. So we shall lift that, it's actually quite heavy. Now, I'm going out on a limb here, I've never done this before, but I think you're going to want to put the queen excluder there. It's going to be interesting. I probably glued it, there we go. Oh, the wasp just fell. Wow, that's heavy. We'll just pop them on the floor, and then if we look here, we look at the door, we've got a nice wide door here, and then here there's a little one. So what we're going to do to reduce that entrance, we're just going to turn it around like so, and it just makes it a lot easier for the bees to defend their hive against wasps and also mice as well, as I well know from this year that mice like to hibernate in hives, and they do kill your hive, which is not what we want. So super is on at the bottom, and we are the bloody hell, that's heavy. We are then pop that on the top, and that is a nadir, I think. I may have done that wrong, I don't know, but if I have, let me know. So like I said, the idea is that the bees will then just take up any honey that they've stored at the bottom, and they always want to take it up. So that is the idea. And then we'll just double check these hives, make sure that everything's tickety-boo, and that's kind of what we're doing for today. Now this hive here has done exactly what we wanted them to do, and they have eaten all of the honey that came from the and they've cleaned it all up. So these are now perfectly dry. So we're going to take this off. Hopefully the dinings will be giving these guys 2 supers, just because they're quite big and they're also a little bit light as well, to be honest. Hopefully they've done the same in the other box. Which they have not. Which they have not. So most of this is going to be for Celia. It's got honey in as well, which is just great. Ah dear. And so is this one. Safe to say there's still a flow on, but we did take off the honey early just because we wanted to get the treatments in for the Varroa. Our first time of doing nukes, and they are looking bloody well strong. I'm really impressed with these. Like, really impressed. So these, depending on what Dad was saying last week, if I've published it or not, these are the Apistan strips that we're using this year. So last year we used Apivar, and we liked Apivar, nothing wrong with Apivar, but we wanted to cycle through a different active ingredient and a different active chemical, just because I don't want resistance to form. Again, people say some of their hives are immune or resistant and all of that, which they might be, but I don't know enough about it yet, so I'm just going to treat them anyway. Things that we do like about them, they sit on top of the frames very nicely with how flexible they are. The thing I'm not the biggest fan of is putting them in is quite difficult, because they're literally just a bit of rubber. So if I show you what I mean, just pop it down. Down here, it's not impossible to get down, it just takes a while, whereas the Apivar strips, they're a bit more sturdy. But apart from that, I quite like the design. They fit into a packet quite nicely. 2 will do 12 frames, and yeah, so we'll kind of see what results we get during the winter, and see if we get any mites come through the winter. Which you will, because no miticide is 100% effective, because then they put them out. Well, they put themselves out of business, wouldn't they? So they're all like 95 or 96% effective. You'll never be rid of the Varroa mite. But yeah, on the whole, I'm actually very happy with the first lot of nukes that we've made this year. We put these together back in, oh, that's not even on properly. I'm going to have to sort that out. There we go. Yeah, we made these nukes up, when was it? I think it was June. Might have been June, you know. And they're all on double broods now. And yeah, I'm really impressed. So a nuke is basically the best way to describe it for those that don't know. It's like our young stock. So for cattle, you got young stock, you got calves. These are like our calves or our lambs. So they're going to be honey production hives next year, or cows or sheep next year. Is kind of the best way to describe it. So you've always got a new cycle of bees coming through. Just helps keep that productivity up. You know, you got new queens, new bees, new comb, so all of the comb in here was all foundation. They've all drawn it out. So it'll actually be quite interesting to have a little experiment between one of the older hives that has got slightly darker, if not black comb. I do want to phase all of them out, to be honest, and newer comb. But yeah, I just thought it was quite interesting. I'm really impressed with it. You know, in the future, do we start selling nukes? I don't know. We need to practice a bit more and get to grips with it a lot better before we start. What you found? You've been stung?
No.
See, that's the thing with these marigolds, they're not too bad. I mean, I've got a few holes in them now, and I did literally just rip that one in two. But they do actually do quite well at stopping stings. You get the odd one go through, but nowhere near as much. You're right. I don't know, you might be able to see that. It doesn't do that well zooming in, but see the sting? Just keep smoking them down. Yeah. She's an apprentice beekeeper. Yeah, you are. Then we have to go do. See, I have to go do her horse muck, and then she does my bees for me. That's the sort of partnership we've got going. But yeah, very happy with our nukes. Right guys, that is the end of today's video. Just here at Berries on Tap at the moment, and yeah, we just made a note last time we came up, is that the old brew box has started to give way and it's splitting, which is why you don't buy pine. Buy cheap, buy twice. Yeah, Maddie came, she helped and didn't get stung. But yeah, so yeah, this site's looking good now. Everyone's got a queen in, and yeah, that's kind of it. So we'll head back home, go do a horse, and then call it a day. And it's been a stressful day, but thank you very much for watching. I am shattered, but I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next week. Well, hopefully I don't know how long it takes them to take the honey up. Hopefully it'll be empty next week, but I don't know. Annoying to say the least, but every single hive has been adhered, whatever it's called. Catch you later.